Ketones. So ketones, they have a carbonyl group. You've actually seen this one before. It just looks like CO, right? The aldehydes have these two. The ketones, they have this group on a middle carbon. So it can't be the end carbons, it can only be one of the middle ones. So if you have a chain of carbons and you have an oxygen that has a double bond to one of the end carbons, that will be an aldehyde, methanal, ethanal, propanal. We did them already. If there's an oxygen that has a double bond to a middle carbon, it's a ketone. So that's what we're doing today. Now, to have a middle carbon, you have to have at least 3, which means there's no methanone and there's no ethanone because those would have 1 or 2 carbons. So we start with 3 carbons. So we'll start with propanone. So the system for naming these is basically just take the E off the end and put ONE. Propane becomes propanone. New way to draw this. You draw your propane, and then on the middle carbon, you put an oxygen with a double bond. And since there's only one middle carbon, we don't need a number for propanone. I'll draw this one the old way, just for those of you who don't like skeletal structures. Oops. It's going to be C3H6. Propanone, you're probably familiar with. The common name is acetone. Acetone is the chemical that's usually in nail polish remover. Alright, to butanone. And again, with butanone, there's only 2 middle carbons, right? It's got 4 carbons. There's going to be 2 middle ones. And whether you pick the first middle one or the second middle one, it's really the same molecule. Because either way, it's going to be called number 2. Like if we put it on the carbon, it looks like number 3. We just spin it around and make it number 2. So my point is, there's not going to be numbers with butanone either. Because either way, it's in the same place. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here it is on the number 2 carbon. And if I put it on this carbon, it'll still be the same molecule. So butanone doesn't get numbers either. Formula C4H8O. Anybody need me to draw this the old way, or are we okay with this?
That's good.
All right. Now, once we get to pentanone, we got 5 carbons. You actually have a choice. It could be on the number 2 carbon or on the very middle, which is number 3. So we actually have 2 different versions, and so we start using numbers. So we'll do 2-pentanone first. So basically, pentanone and higher get numbers. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you could pick this as your number 2 or this is your number 2. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. I'll put it on this one, just add some variety. Make life interesting here. And this will be C5H10. Hold on too fast. You going too slow? Alright. And so we can do 3-pentanone, and then the oxygen would be on the very middle carbon. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's pentane again, and this time it'll come off the number 3 carbon. Formula, obviously, for these two is the same. You know, all we did is move an oxygen and move 2 of the hydrogens. So the formula is still going to be C5H10. That's really all there is to ketones. Questions? Can you draw any more? Alrighty. Jose?
That was quick.
That was quick.
Wait, what is yours, though?
Yeah.